down low. Let me see you do the telescope. Go down, go down, go down low. Baby, me I see you on the telescope. Go down, go down, go down low. Let me see you do the telescope. Get your body and I can do lights, not a photo. Sharp.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Fatu and I'm back with another video. In today's video I decided to do a sit down video and basically talk about my experience taking adult swimming lessons as a beginner. I basically just decided to take swimming lessons because as a child swimming was not my thing. I had so many bad experiences, but then at the same time I love the water. I travel a lot and I'm always doing water excursions. I've been snorkeling so many times. And also, I have a lot of vacations coming up in 2020 starting in January. So I was like, you know what? Let me just learn how to swim. So that way, when I do go on vacation and I do all of these water excursions, I no longer have to use a life vest. So back in September, I started the lessons. And I actually they just ended about 2 weeks ago. So I just wanted to do a video and just, you know, help other people who have a fear of water or people who don't know how to swim just get over that fear and just go ahead and just do it. So I'm going to explain, like, you know, what we did in each lesson and how it helped. And I also have a video to insert of my progress. So basically there were 6 lessons and it was 45 minutes each. They were group lessons. There were 7 of us total in the beginning. 2 people dropped, so there were 5 of us. In the first lesson, the instructor basically just made us get comfortable with water. Everything we did individually. He would make each person go one by one. So basically everybody just had to go and like dip your head underneath the water, come back up just so you can get comfortable with it. Once you did that, you had to go back under and he made you like blow bubbles out of your nose and then you came back up. After that, each person had to like fall forward, fall backwards, fall to the left, and fall to the right. Once everyone was comfortable doing that, we basically had to, and I'm sorry if you see me looking down at my phone, it's because I put notes so I wouldn't forget anything. But basically once everyone was done doing that, we went to the edge of the pool and you had to put your hands like this, and whatever hand you write with is the hand that you would put on top. So you would put your hands like this and you would basically just kick off the side of the pool and just glide. And so but you wouldn't kick your feet at that point. He just wanted everyone to just glide, just kick off the side and glide. Once everyone did that, we basically went, you know, and did the same exact thing, but this time we kicked our feet. And at that point is when everyone was swimming. And I was just so proud of myself because I'm not even going to lie, going into the very first class I was like, I'm going to be so slow, I'm not going to learn how to swim until maybe the 3rd or 4th class. So when we got there and I was actually swimming in the first one, your girl was proud of herself. So that's basically what we did in the first class. In the second class, we started learning how to float. So we had like one of those square floating devices, and I'll try to insert a picture here if I can. Yeah, so we had a floating device. We would basically hold on to it like this and we would lay on our back. He would stand a few feet behind us and we would float on our back towards him. You know, once you did it, he kept moving back a little bit more so we could go, you know, a longer distance. And then once he felt like we were comfortable, we basically did the full lap of the pool. And once you were comfortable doing that, we basically got rid of the floating device altogether and we were doing it on our own. And I was honestly so shocked because back in June, my coworkers were trying to teach me how to float. And we maybe practiced for about an hour or so and it would not happen. Like, I was so scared and it just wasn't working. So the one thing I did notice from June until taking the classes in September is if your body is tense and you're nervous and you're scared, you're not going to float. You have to get rid of that anxiety and I promise you, you will float. So once everyone, you know, got comfortable with the floating, we then learned the backstroke. And the backstroke is an exercise. I was tired. All of us were like, our arms were tired, our thighs was on fire because he kept making us like go back and forth, and the instructor was looking at us like, that's a shame, y'all are so young and you're breathing all heavy, you're tired just from one lap. It was like ridiculous. I was like, I need to get back in the gym. But yeah, so we practiced the backstroke after that. That was the second class. The third class, I missed that class because I had to go out of town for work. But my friend, she's also in that class, and she basically said that they practiced the backstroke the entire time. So what I'll do now is I'll actually insert a video here, and this is after the first 2 classes. So it's not the clearest video because you're not supposed to be recording in there technically. So she discreetly like recorded a video of me before, you know, like we got there a little bit early and we were like practicing before the class even started. So I'll insert that video here now. Like I said, I did miss the third class. So in the fourth class, we practiced the backstrokes in the beginning. Yeah, we actually did it the entire time because he wanted us to perfect the backstroke. A lot of people was like, they would start it and then they would get tired, they would stop, they would stand up. And he's like, basically, we're practicing in 4 feet, and realistically, you won't always be in 4 feet of water. He's like, if you're in 10 feet, you can't just stop and just stand up because you're tired. So you need to do it regardless if you're in 4 feet or in 10 feet. When you're swimming, or God forbid, if you're drowning or anything of that, you know, nature, when you're tired of swimming, you're going to turn over to your back because you can breathe. And when you're on your back, you can just float. You don't have to do too much movement that'll make you tired. So he's like, y'all are going to perfect this. I don't care. We're going to practice this the whole time. So that's basically what we did in the fourth class. In the fifth class, we practiced the front crawl. I actually love the front crawl swim. And we practiced that in 4 feet of water. Once everyone was comfortable doing that, he was like, okay, we're going to go over to the bigger pool. I was so nervous. I'm like, I don't want to go over to the bigger pool. I'm like, I don't want to go over to the bigger pool. But the bigger pool is 6.3 feet. So we went over there. He basically made each person like hold on to the steps and like go lower, so that way like your entire body was underneath the pool, and then you come back up. Once everyone did that, he was like, okay, we're going to practice the front crawl in the bigger pool. I was so nervous, but the good thing is he didn't make us do the full lap because everyone wasn't like 100% ready for that. So let's say this is the end of the pool. He basically made us go, instead of going straight doing the full lap, he basically made us go on an angle. So like we would get on the water, stand here, and we would do a couple strokes and swim here, and then we would just, you know, get a little bit farther each time, but we did not do the full lap of that. So that was the fifth class. The sixth class, we practiced swimming with a floating device. So we basically held the floating device like this, and he, you know, we had to swim forward because he basically wanted us to try to have our feet as high as possible. So what I noticed, it wasn't going that well for me. Like my feet kept being like underneath the water, but he wanted our feet to be on top of the water, like kicking hard on top of the water. And I noticed that it wasn't going well for me. So I was like, you know what, let me try putting my head underneath the water a little bit more, like not all the way underneath, but like pretty much like the water was probably like right here. And that's when I realized like, okay, my feet is more on top of the water. So we pretty much did that. And then for the rest of the class, we practiced the backstroke because he really wanted us to perfect it, because the backstroke and just being on your back, being able to float in general, that will save your life at the end of the day. So we practiced that. And pretty much the intermediate class, because this was the beginner's classes, the intermediate class starts with the backstroke. So he was like, okay, if any of you guys plan on taking the intermediate class, this is where they start, so you need to perfect that. I did go ahead and sign up for the intermediate class, and I'm so happy that I did. Like I said, I have a couple vacations planned next year. One of them is my 30th birthday girls trip. I'm so excited, and me and my friends and my cousin, we're planning on, you know, jumping off the side of boats and stuff. So I'm like, let me sign up for this intermediate class so that way I'm 100% sure that I can do this. So let me know in the comments if you do want to see a video about the intermediate class. Also, let me know in the comments if you have any questions, if you have any advice for me, because Lord knows I'm not, you know, the best. I'm just learning. So if you have any advice, especially when you see this video, mind you, the video is only after 2 classes, so obviously I got better along the way. But, you know, comment any questions, any advice if you want to see the intermediate video, sit down video. Yeah, I think that's it. So like, comment, subscribe. There will be plenty more videos to come. Thank you for everyone that is subscribed and that's supporting me, and I love you all.